trial with regard to Mr. Lawson, Judge Lucas ordered a mediation on March the 10th. The purpose of that mediation was to try to reach a global settlement of the 3 pending lawsuits because Judge Lucas told all of us that the money should not be spent on lawyers and experts and court fees and things of that nature. The money should be spent on resolving the issues so that the citizens are not paying for legal battles. And we of course agreed wholeheartedly with that, and we attended the mediation in good faith. Mr. Lobby was present, Mr. Glanneman was present, Ms. Cole was present, Ms. Tomosky was present, and myself. So we actually had a majority of our board. We had not a majority. We had a contingency of our board present.
May I interrupt again?
Yeah.
So when the judge started the mediation, he addressed the audience, and basically he said that there was some mediation we were supposed to have scheduled in January and got rescheduled, and basically he wasn't aware of that, and so he was basically said, I'll give everyone a mulligan for not doing the mediation, but he wanted to obviously have the mediation on that March 10th date. And by way of example, he just discussed 2 other parties, I think in the local area, a municipal authority and a township, unrelated to any of us and what we're working on, and how they had 3 litigations sort of between the 2 parties, and so at a very high level, somewhat similar to sort of the lay of the land for what what you was saying between Peters Creek and Union Township, and basically I wrote this down. He said, we were put here to govern responsibly and prudently, that the ratepayers and taxpayers did not, they did not agree that when we were either put in as a Union Township supervisor or as a PCSA board member, that that we were here to spend money, recklessly, and so he wanted us to, govern responsibly and prudently, and basically said litigation, rarely gives you what you want, and he strongly encouraged us to mediate.
Yeah, so the mediation went the entire afternoon till the close of the courthouse, and there was a lot of back and forth with the mediator. The court Judge Lucas was available for any issues, but the mediation was primarily conducted, almost exclusively conducted by Thomas Vreeland, who's a well-known local attorney who's been practicing for 40-plus years, a very good lawyer, who was trying to get as much done as he could in that afternoon. And at the end of the day, although we were not able to settle the Lawson litigation, which was coming up for a trial, we fully and finally settled the other 2 lawsuits, which were the injunction and the lawsuit the injunction that we had filed against Union Township, and the lawsuit that Union Township had filed against us over a collateral bunch of issues. So the court brought the attorneys and the mediator into the courtroom, and had the mediator and with comments from the attorneys, they dictated on the record the settlement. It was all subject to approval from the Board of Supervisors, but everybody represented to the court that they saw no reason that they wouldn't recommend this to the supervisors, because as you know, we had board members there, and Union Township had board members there as well. The board president was there, I believe. Of course, Mr. Lawson was there, and I believe there was Mr. Trax was there. So they had a representation from their board as well. The judge instructed, I was getting ready for the Lawson trial, so the judge instructed Union Township's counsel and our insurance counsel, Ms. Merrick, to prepare a draft settlement agreement before March the 30th. And he gave us 60 days to mark the 2 lawsuits that were settled, officially settled and discontinued of record. And he said if there's any issues, please report back to me, but he fully expected that those 2 cases were over. While I was preparing for the Lawson trial, I began to sense that Union Township may be reneging on the settlement. I got an email from their special counsel, Ms. Gallagher, saying that they were looking into the cost and the delay factor. It was a lengthy email. I was getting ready for trial. I chose not to respond to it. I had other things on my mind, but our insurance counsel and her engaged in various exchanges of email, which basically said, our insurance counsel, Ms. Merrick, said, that's not my understanding of the agreement. We're going to wait for the transcript. When the Lawson trial was over, I sent her a short email saying, it was not my understanding of the agreement. You're reneging. I sent her a letter outlining the terms of the agreement, and I said, if you have till Friday, close of business on Friday, to tell us whether Union Township will accept the agreement that was dictated to the court, or we're gonna go back to Judge Lucas and tell him, you know, we wasted an afternoon in your courtroom. Will you enforce the agreement? And if you don't want to enforce the agreement, will you award us sanctions or attorney fees or something for all the time we wasted? And that's what we're here today. What we're here today is to go over the agreement that was dictated in front of Judge Lucas, and to see if our board will approve it as it was dictated. We're also here today to get an understanding of Union Township's version of the agreement, which is 180 degrees different than what was agreed to in court. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, so let me add that